Oh, well. Big J.R. Neal here. We're going to be a part of his old podcast today. And I'm appreciated the opportunity. John, say hello.
Yeah, hello everybody. This is John J.R. Neal. Just recently started up a podcast, JR's Man Cave, and it's actually quite interesting because Brendan here gave me, I was taking suggestions for names, and Brendan was his suggestion of JR's Man Cave was pretty much the first and only suggestion that I took from anybody else, and I was like, this is automatic, like I gotta do this. So very much introductory in that from that standpoint, but hopefully, have a good partnership between our two channels, you on YouTube and then myself on the airwaves podcast. So
I do have to tell the viewers we are live from Denny's.
Yes,
here in Mooresville, North Kakalaki, off of Highway 150. Many of you on the podcast already know that John traveled from Michigan to going to Darlington to see the NASCAR race with Will Grantham and other friends. He's actually still on his way there, but he made sure to stop and see me, which I appreciate. And we just ate a little bit, and now I'm going to get some dessert.
But no shame with that. But yeah, since we're on the topic of racing, I mentioned to our followers that we would talk about your racing league, and I was watching the live broadcast in Talladega, and man, you were fighting.
That was
That was awesome.
That was
it was a tough ending, but still, that was impressive.
Yeah, that 37 Chevrolet was pretty good that day. We fought hard, worked really, hard to get through the whole field. I started 17th, I think it was.
Yeah, your practice time was good.
Yeah, practice was
like
good.
top 5 in practice
Yep.
speed.
Yep, car drafted really well, and it just, it's Talladega, so you never know.
Anything goes.
It's like the flip of a quarter. Either it's going to be bad or good. And we got the wrong end. 1 second.
Gonna order something?
Yes, ma'am. May I please have the cake batter shake? Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's see it.
Oh,
Want
yeah.
anything?
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Cake batter shake.
A little Denny's hiatus there.
So yeah, we'll put that one behind us, and look forward to going back to Talladega in the Cup Series for Hobo Racing League in October, I believe it is. And we have our upcoming race is the Darlington Throwback on Tuesday night, so it's good. We were supposed to race tomorrow, but we realized in our schedule it was going to be at the same time as the Cup race, so we're like, nope, let's cancel that.
Yeah, that was a good plan, and it's going to be pretty awesome because you guys are going to have some paint schemes, some throwback paint schemes. So that will be pretty sweet. I mean, I saw you kind of showed me the template of some of them. There's like the old Jeff Gordon, the Rainbow Warrior car. There's like a 1950s like modified throwback. Was that one I saw?
Yeah, the Rubino brothers are going to be driving their old
Danny.
Yeah, Danny Rubino and Steve. They're going to be driving their father's like old throwback from when he used to race at Wall in New Jersey. Let's see, Tango has the Rainbow Warriors paint scheme. I had some made for other drivers. There's going to be a Richard Petty paint scheme, a Eric Almirola Air Force paint scheme from 2008, I think it is. I don't remember.
That was like his first couple of years. I mean, he had been right around rookie.
I don't know.
That time, or is he?
Whenever he was in the 43 Air Force car, because that's when it was. That's the car it's going to be. Mm-hmm. And I have the pleasure of racing my favorite paint scheme, which is the 1995 Thunderbat that Bill Elliott drove for awesome. McDonald's.
That is awesome. Yeah, that'll be a sweet ride.
I just wish old Batman could come out and see the car.
Yeah, if only. But no, that will be an exciting race, and that is when?
Tuesday night at 7 o'clock.
This Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. And it is being broadcasted live on Full Velocity.
Yep, Full Velocity TV. It'll be on. I will put the link to that race in my description of the video. And if you know, if you visit Brendan the Gent on YouTube, you can find it and stuff from there. I'm really excited about it. I've been practicing nonstop for this Tuesday race, and the car's running good. It's a little loose coming off of 4, but I mean, not too bad. I just got to control it a little bit more.
Let's see. At Darlington, it's complete turns 1 and 2 handle a lot different than 3 and 4. Right?
Exactly.
Because I mean, 1 and 2 is a little bit longer than 3 and 4.
Yeah, 1 and 2 is I can go wide open.
Because you can go wide open. I mean, it's like because it's like 3 and 4. I mean, I've just played it in video games. I'm sure it differs from actual like simulation racing. So when you get down to like 135, 140 in those turns, then the other ones you can go 160.
And in 1 and 2, I'm pushing 175, and in 3 and 4, I'm doing about 150.
Okay. So I was a little off, but I was still trying to.
No,
there is a
doing
difference. There is a difference between the speeds, and you can, like you say, you can run wide open in 1 and 2.
Exactly. So, for the folks that don't know, J.R. Neal here is a goaltender, and you got that coming up for you. How's that?
I do, yeah. Well, we just concluded a summer league season. Fortunately, our team lost in the first round of the playoffs in overtime to the 1 seed team, the Mighty Drunks. So we were the 4 seed, and we lost in the first round, 3-2. I felt like I had a strong game. We were up 2-0 after the first period. So, and then about midway through the game, they got one back, and then they tied it with about 6 minutes to go. Took it to overtime. Played a couple of shifts.
They don't have the cake batter stuff to make.
I'm batting 1,000 tonight, aren't I?
But I already started putting the vanilla, so you want a vanilla milkshake? Or do you want to add something else to it?
I guess I'll take the vanilla, because you already started that one. Because I would have said chocolate, but
Okay, I can make chocolate, don't matter.
You sure?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just redo the whole thing.
You sure? Okay, thank you, man.
But anyhow, so the playoff game, it was a well fought. Our team played well, but just unfortunately it was right after a face-off draw. The puck, they won the face-off draw, put it to their guy in the slot, but I was screened by not only our guy but their guy as well. So there's a lot of traffic, and it was a wrist shot, so I couldn't hear it, and it went right over my shoulder, and that was the game. But no, new season coming up. It's going to be October. I want to say October 3rd, 2nd or 3rd. It's the first Wednesday of that month. Is when we're starting up the long, 22-week season. That's the one that runs from October to April.
Oh, wow.
And I played in that league last year. And we also had a tough exit in the first round. I believe we lost 3-1.
Okay.
So we've been in a lot of close games. It'll be a similar lineup, but hopefully we can get some more additions to the team. So we had issues goal scoring in the second half of the season last year during the regular fall winter league. So hopefully that'll, we'll have some momentum.
Could you recruit guys?
Yeah, so we can basically so when I came into that league, we were called the last minute standing. So it's kind of funny how that name came, because that's literally what we were. The guys that just signed up. I signed up with one other friend, my roommate Connor, and he's a good player. And so we signed up, and then there was about, I would say, 12 to 14 other guys, and then some guys wouldn't show here and there. But if we can get some more players, I know Connor was looking to recruit some other guys. But if we can put together, I think we'll be a force to be reckoned with. Good in the season.
Well, we all know that you are a brick wall and a net.
Well, I appreciate it. It's it's tough. I just try to do the best I can.
Exactly. Some will get by. It's guaranteed it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to stop every one of them. But you can limit how many of those can win through. And I know you got the talent. I mean, you were my goaltender when I was playing defense. I know damn well that you're good.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, that was an excellent tournament a couple years ago. I always like this quote. I can't remember who said it, but it fits the description of goaltending perfectly. It's not about the saves you make; it's about the goals you give up.
Sure.
And that's probably the most profound statement ever. It really hits the.
Is it goals against average? Do you want to keep down?
Yeah, well, probably goals against average. I mean, because save percentage can be a little tricky because you can still have a high save percentage with a high goals against, because that means your team's giving up a lot of shots.
Yeah.
So ideally, I'd like to lower that goals against average. I would say my save percentage this year is probably about 850 to 875 in that range. So obviously, like professional goaltenders are going to be like 910 or 930.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say in the at least 800 to 860. It's kind of tough to judge because we don't keep that statistic, but just how I could feel.
You should personally keep them all.
I would like to. I mean, that's a lot to think about though in the beginning, trying to keep all the all the saves and stuff in your head.
I used to keep track. Thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. I used to keep track of all that, but every time I had to hear like 13, 13, 13, I had so many 13th place finishes. It's not even fun. That or DNF. I was like, nah, I'm on it.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So I wish I did have a scorekeeper. I mean, they have a timekeeper, but not somebody that actually keeps like statistics for goaltenders or players and stuff like that. So that would be an addition I'd like to see us have.
Y'all on this podcast, I really wish you could see this milkshake right now. It is awesome. Did it stop?
We had a little bit of technical difficulties there, but we're just going to go ahead and consider this part 2 and the conclusion. Yeah, we could do that up. You can do that. Okay, that works. Yeah, thank you. Oh, perfect. So, anyways, part 2. This will be our conclusion as well. We're here in Mooresville, North Carolina, and I wanted to have Brendan himself tell the story because it don't get better than this, folks. When you tell us about the time Gander Mountain with one famous NASCAR driver that we all love.
True American, true good racing car, a legend, driver of the old number 22 Caterpillar Dodge, Ward Burton. Ward Burton, got to meet him finally. I was at the old Gander Mountain last year, I think it was. And
Around this time.
Yeah, around this time actually. And he was out there shopping for things. I don't remember what he was doing for, but I remember he was doing it. And I heard this voice in the old Gander Mountain there, and I was like, I know that voice. Who is that? So I looked to my left. Here's old Ward Burton.
Lo and behold,
Yeah.
Ward Burton.
I was like, Mr. Burton, how are you, sir? You know, I gave a good little, start off nice, respectful. And we just sat and talked because, we talk about what I do for a living and this and that. And it was pretty cool. And we came up with this thing. And I asked
So
him,
he's approachable. I mean,
he's very approachable.
very nice guy.
Oh, yeah. And I said, I'm sorry, I regret to ask you this, but can I take a picture with you? And he says, yeah. And so I did. And I'll try to put that right here on this the screen so you all can see it. Yeah, it was so cool. And I'm very grateful. And he actually emailed me, because I gave him my business card. He actually emailed me to see about helping with a fundraiser, but I didn't have the merchandise to give him that he needed. So
It was for his conservation something or another. Like, he does a lot of work. I didn't post a video when I was in Virginia, so that's going to be this feature here is covering Virginia and North Carolina because Ward Burton actually he lives in Virginia.
Yep.
So that's a little factoid for Virginia. Ward Burton's conservation.
Exactly.
I'm not sure exactly what part of the state he lives in.
I think it's out east because I knew he used to be a politician for Virginia.
Right. So, yeah. So that's a little interesting thing about Ward Burton. Not only is he a legendary race car driver, but he's a good conservationist as well. And he's a farmer too. I mean, he does a lot of work.
Oh yeah,
He does a lot of work.
and his son Jeb helps him out there at the conservation. Actually, their emails are on there. It's on that website of theirs. I gotta get their website now, but you can actually get in touch with them.
That's awesome. I'd love. See, what I like about Ward Burton is he posts on Twitter and stuff that he'll actually sign autographs. So You have like a...
Thank you, man.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Was it good?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Good. So if you have any sign, like, I might send him that cat cup. Dang it, Will.
I had to pause the video for a second, and I devoured that. That was really good. That was really good.
So we ended up making a 3-part show because we've had some slight disturbances. Probably should have figured that would have happened at Denny's in a public place.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a good evening. We had some good food, shared a few laughs, talked about old Warburton, a little racing, a little hockey. So I think this is a good little, done ourselves a good little podcast here.
Exactly.
And video. So I appreciate you, meeting me here is just kind of a tradition, I guess, so to speak. We like to always do this stuff, but this particular Denny's, and I mentioned that. Can we get a shot of that urn hut? Right quick, picture that.
Let's see if we can do it. That's what John wanted to show you. Big old Earnhardt thing. Richard Petty. Okay. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm gonna put this back over here.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, so we got that picture, and we'll link that up there as well. But now, what a...
Oh, I just filmed it, and I said, JR wants you to see this.
Okay, filmed even better. But yeah, no, it's been a perfect evening. Like I said, I appreciate you being on the podcast. You're the first guest.
I'm very grateful and honored to be the first guest.
First guest on the show. And, made it a point that you'd be on the show first. Because I've been on your channel before.
Yep.
On your channel.
Well, actually, when we went to the Andy Griffith Museum, a couple NASCAR races too.
Yeah, good stuff. Stuff that I like to talk about on this show. All of it's relevant.
Your father is on my video.
He is. We probably should get him on the podcast here eventually as well.
That'd be good.
Good guy.
It's funny. Knowing the two of us, not one mention of John Wayne.
How
do we not mention John Wayne?
How have we gone? What, 17 minutes?
Yeah, 17 minutes.
And not John Wayne.
Not one mentioning John Wayne.
That's blasphemy. I don't know how we could do that. No, but you're a big fan of the Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Huge Duke connoisseur as well as I am. I mean, I don't even know where to begin.
I mean, if I wasn't for the Duke, I wouldn't be the man I am today.
Yeah, I agree. I'm starting to form some true John Wayne values, and those are the best ones to have. True grit.
Exactly.
Perseverance. You name it. I mean, he loves his country. He'll do anything, and he treats others with respect.
Exactly.
Unless they cross you, and then there's some issues. So, okay, here we go. Perfect way to end this off. Let's just your top 3 John Wayne films. From 3 being, and then 3, 2, and then 1.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's tough on the spot.
I could tell you 3 John Wayne movies I hate. Well, I shouldn't say that. Hate to watch because he dies in them, and I don't like when he dies.
No.
Like The Cowboys. The Cowboys is one of the greatest movies ever made, but he dies. And it's sad, and I don't want him to die.
Yeah.
Because he was killed in a cowardly way. Because the guy, he was disarmed and hit him in the head with a rock, and then the idiot coward shoots him over 10 times.
Yeah.
Well, actually, about 6 or 7. I don't like watching that part of the movie. Even if it's a wonderful special movie, I don't like it because it's the part. But I guess my top 3, counting down from 3 to 1, I would say 3 would be McClintock.
Yeah.
2 would be 2. What would 2 be? The Quiet Man, and I would say number 1 would be Rio Bravo.
Okay. Quality list. So I guess for me, my top 3, I have this list down for a reason, but it's tough because there's so many good ones. So I do have this listed here. John Wayne pictures. So here's. Yeah, I can't see that.
See it.
But that's fine. So my top 3 now. It's so close because there's so many up there, but since you only had 3, I'll go ahead with my 3 here. The Big Trail, 1930.
The first ever one he was
The
in.
first ever one he was in, but this one did not succeed in box office though, which is odd. But I want to say maybe due to the time that this movie was released, due to the Depression, because that was about a year into the Depression, so maybe that affected the release. I'm not sure, but I love that movie. He was very young. He was my age, so I think that's why that movie kind of resonated. Sure, because he was 23 when he was filming The Big Trail.
It wasn't until Stagecoach when he got his recognition.
That was in 39.
Yeah.
And that's on my list as well for the top. That's in my top 10. But number 2 is a movie that I've seen probably over 100 times. One of my dad's favorite, and he's the reason why I like this movie so much. Is 'cause I grew up watching it. The Green Berets, 1968, and this movie brought a lot of controversy. It shouldn't have, in my opinion, but it did due to Hollywood at the time. They were very anti-Vietnam War and anti really anybody who served. Not only were they anti-war, but they could not stand the people that served in the war because they were treated horribly upon their arrival, which is why I think there's always a special place for Vietnam veterans, because not only did they go through hell just doing a job that they were asked to do, whether you disagree or agree, they came back and were just treated, like dirt. That's unacceptable. And my number 1 film, Sands of Iwo Jima, 1949. The ending is probably the best. Well, it's bittersweet. He dies. It's bittersweet, like you said. Bittersweet, but man, just a good quality film. The script is perfect. I mean, it's you see him battle. It's just constant tension because Stryker, he knows what's best, but he's a lithe edgy because he drinks a lot. He's an alcoholic. He's had some issues in his personal life.
Yeah.
But at the end, generally, he knows what's best for his men. But his men are kind of young bugs, stubborn, don't really listen to it, but finally earn his respect.
What, without a scabbard?
If I can't teach you one way, I'll teach you another. But we're gonna get the job done. I love that.
So good.
Yeah.
So, there's so many John Wayne movies out there. He was the original singing cowboy. If you didn't know that, he was. And he couldn't stand it because the film studio would make him do appearances, and all these little kids would ask him to sing, and he did not sing.
He's not very musically inclined.
Well, he was voice dubbed in those movies, so it wasn't his voice. So every time that he would sing for these kids, they're like, "Who that?" That's not him. So he hated it, and if it wasn't for John Wayne, we would never have Gene Autry, because Gene Autry took his place.
Right. Yeah. Very interesting stuff. So, well, I think that'll just about conclude.
Yeah, about to hit the old dusty trail.
Yeah, about to hit the old dusty trail. So, I appreciate it again, Brendan.
I'm the one who appreciates it. I'm very honored and grateful.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, we covered some good stuff, and it'll be nice once we post this on.
Exactly.
This
video will be up tonight.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll definitely publish my stuff on my end. So, without further ado,
I do have to edit the picture of old Warburton in there.
There you go. Yeah, well, some little tune-ups here and there, but
exactly.
I think all in all, this
is good.
We'll have more for sure in the future
from old Denny's.
Old Denny's.
I'll see y'all soon.